voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.
That's what fucking Bot was thinking. He was thinking some fucking nasty ass fucking shit, dude. I don't know what the hell's wrong with him. He's fucking
doesn't make a sound. Doesn't go. It goes.
What?
It goes.
Oh, and by the way, guys, welcome to another episode of the Next Podcast. That is right, people. I just sat back and I was just being quiet, letting the panel do what they do. This is what I deal with before we go live, by the way. I just want to let you guys know this. What is going on, everybody? What is up, Slayin'? Damn, I love that name. What is up, everybody in the chat? Yes, it is Thursday. It is a work day, so I was rushing home pretty quick. Not too bad on the time this time. Not too bad. But what is going on? I hope you guys are having a great Thursday. We have so much to talk about tonight. So I think we should do this early. Guys, hit that thumbs up button. Share this out on social media. We are going to be talking about, Jim Ryan telling the truth about one of the studio acquisitions. We're going to be talking about SSDs. We're going to be talking about Unreal Engine. We're going to be talking Flight Simulator. Yo, there is just so much to talk about. What is up, RG Viper X? Yes, you did send me a party invite, but bro, you know what tonight is, man. It is prime time. It is time for the Next Podcast. Let's get into the intros. And starting off, we're going to start right in basically my backyard, man. I gotta get the information from this man to see exactly where he lives. So this way I can go into Flight Simulator and basically fly over his house. Maybe even land on his street. Of course, it is Crispy Bomb. What is up, brother?
Stalker U-Bot? Anyone got
very stalkerish.
Well, what is up, everybody? It's great to be back. Yes, my mom is doing well, and actually, she just rang me right now, so I'm going to have to take this really quick. So love you all, and she's doing well, and thank you for all the support and kind words. I really
tell
appreciate
Mama Crispy we said what up.
Absolutely.
You gotta say it like that, though.
What up?
You gotta say it like that to her, okay?
I think he's already gone, dude.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. But next on the list, we are going to the Lone Star State. That is right. They say everything is bigger in Texas, and he might be the biggest headed panel member that we have. He is starting a war with a certain person out there in chats. I don't see him in the chat right now for this one, but what is up, Predator?
Oh man, not much, man. Just fixing new guns up and
kicking
kids out of houses and stuff like that. You know how it goes. Right in Texas. You know, gotta kick them birds out the nest. You know what I'm saying?
Did you really kick somebody out of the house?
Kind of, sort of.
Wow, Brian.
Hey, tough love, man. Tough love.
Tough love.
Her loss is someone else's gain because there's an Xbox going to somebody out there.
Wow. Wow, bro.
Oh shit. Okay.
But I gotta say, in our DM on Twitter, man, you and Dark were coming up with like some really good topics, man. I definitely appreciate that. We will be going into the SSDs because of you, and I'm gonna need you to kind of flesh it out because, again, I've been at work all day, man. 12-hour shift. I need to know what's going on, and I'm going to lean on you, Pred. You're going to let me know, okay?
Okay, Daddy.
Wow. And don't forget to sub to his OnlyFans, by the way. Dark was the first one there. But anyway, speaking of the man, aka the Angry Otter, he is sitting in his apartment. Everything around him that is of value has a flotation device because he is just waiting to sink to the bottom of the Pacific. Dark Optimus, what is up, bro?
Yeah, man, I got Scooby gear for everything, you know.
Did you say Scooby gear?
Scuba gear.
Did anybody else hear Scooby gear?
Dude, you hear what you want to fucking hear. For some reason, I don't know why, but you want to hear what you want to hear. I don't get you sometimes, man. But yeah, man, I'm happy to be here, dude. We got a lot of shit to talk about. We're gonna be going in deep tonight, dude.
That's what she said.
I knew Pred, dude. As soon as you said that, I was like, Pred's got a response here. I know this. And guys, K Mega is here. He is with us. He is in the Discord room with us. But
God, K Mega's taking a shit.
Yeah, but that's pretty much he is he's occupied at the moment, but he will be jumping in with us as well. So let's start off with this whole SSD thing. Like I said, I've been working all day. Shout out to Mr. Tushy because he was talking about a couple of these things in a DM. I'm not sure if he wants me to share all that or whatnot, but it got me to say, it got me to like realize that some SSD support for the PlayStation 5. Some news came out about that, and it seems that it could possibly break people's wallets. Yo, Predator, what is going on? What is the news that dropped today, man? Let me know, because I have no idea.
Well, apparently they have a beta program on PlayStation, which I guess they did an update that unlocks the SSD slot on the PlayStation 5, and I haven't seen this yet, but apparently, like, it's not really set up for, the issues people were talking about it before, like overheating, not being able to fit in with the heat sink and stuff. Like, I don't know if the heating thing is an issue, but I think it will potentially be. But like, you have to install your own heat sink, possibly. A lot of these don't fit in there. And there's only right now Seagate's the only one that's come out and said yes, this is going to work on the PlayStation 5. And I have not seen, like, these people, they're going to come out and do some Digital Foundry type shit and do some testing with the temperatures and stuff like that at some point. So I'm waiting to see that. But it is unlocked for beta users only at this point. And there are a lot of SSDs that people are out there looking for that probably won't work. You got to make sure it fits the specs and stuff like that. There's no list of SSDs that work. Sony didn't provide that to you guys out there that they're interested in.
Not even to the people testing this?
No.
How?
And then the price, and this is something people were talking about, but I don't know why everybody thought, oh, they're going to be cheaper because we have options. Even a 1 terabyte is going to be, at least the one that they showed anyway from Seagate, is going to be at least $279 retail, plus tax.
And that's 1 terabyte, you said?
That's a 1 terabyte, yeah. You can get a 500 terabyte, you can get I think RG Viber's dropping that stuff in here in the chat right now, but like, they're more expensive than the option for the Xbox side. So that's the biggest takeaway. They're not cheap. People knew they weren't cheap. I guess some people were kind of hoping
that price would have dropped. Look at these prices, yo.
But and there's no guarantee that the one you buy is going to work until someone comes out with a proper list of things. I think somebody posted this on Twitter, like, so Sony's leaving it up to us, the consumer, to let everyone know what SSDs are going to actually work in this drive, and that's basically what just happened. Because there's not a confirmed list of these will work.
But I thought they had to be. Sony. They had to be kind of like Sony had to test them out and verify them. And like
that's how it was pitched to everybody. Oh, we have to sit here and run these tests to make sure they're going to work. But then if they'd have done that, then they'd have a list of ones that work, right?
Yeah, we're going to test these and make sure they work, but then we're not going to tell you, and you're just going to have to guess.
So I have not seen this yet on Twitter or in social media of someone actually putting an SSD in there and it fucking up their console yet. Because I want to see like what the temperatures are and stuff like that. But it just seems like they're putting in something like what Xbox did. They made it simple, even though it's a proprietary card. it just works. You pop it in, you're good to go. You don't have to deal with all this other bullshit headache that you have to do with the PlayStation 5. You got to take this off. You got to pop this panel off. You got to open this up, pop this thing in, and hope that the one that you bought actually works. And that's just bad design. To me, that's just shitty design. It should never have gotten to this point. So, and somebody's going to have to come back and say, I modded my PlayStation 5 for this to work properly, or they're just going to have to come completely redesign the console to get it to work, because a lot of these SSDs probably won't even fit in there in the first place with the heatsink on there. So,
really?
And Sony's leaving it up to you to install your own heatsink on your SSD that you just paid $200.
Yeah, but they don't give you a lot of room either for like. Ooh.
So
to me, Pred, this sounds like it might have been an idea in the design, kind of like later on in it, like, hey, why don't we, just kind of let people throw in their SSD in a spot. Oh, here's a spot right here. We can just make our little area to put that sucker in right there. But this is very strange. I'm really scratching my head on like Sony not giving a list to the people who are going to test this, to the beta testers, not giving them a list. Like, here, you go out and buy a whole bunch of SSDs and see which ones work and let us know. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I really want to see the testing on this, because I want to see. I think Six Layer said this in one of the chats that we're in, where he's like, is this SSD going to be able to run along with the internal onboard SSD? You know what I'm saying? Like, can I run one game and then try and run another game? You know what I'm saying? Like, he asked that question. And then, obviously the heat stuff and how it, dissipates heat, but also will the games actually run off of it, or do you have to transfer them over to the internal? Like, I want to see how that all works and if it actually works. I haven't put too much thought and process into looking this stuff up yet while I say this, but those are the things that are interesting me about this whole process with them. And then it's in beta. Like, you would think that they would have tested this out when they released the console. Like, it shouldn't be in beta from us. This is a fucking internal SSD. It should just fucking work when you buy the console. Why do you gotta test it?
Well, the one good thing on this, and from what I'm hearing here, Seagate has come out and said, well, these will work on the PS5. The one good thing here is there is a 500 gigabyte version. I mean, it's like $180. You add tax on that and stuff like that. But, dude, it really does not sound as like clean cut as like, here you go, as kind of like the expansion for the Series X and the Series S. It's got its own heatsink already built into it when it comes to the offering from Xbox with Seagate and everything like that. It just really sounds to me like Xbox really thought about what they were doing here and implemented it in a way better way. Do you think that's true, Pred? Because that's what I'm hearing.
I'm sorry, say that again, because I had somebody in here.
Well, I'm kind of like comparing between the two consoles here, kind of like the memory expansion kind of like options, and to me it just sounds like Xbox like kind of had their plan from the beginning, and really implemented it in such a way. They have their heatsink inside their storage expansion already, so you don't have to add anything to that. Even price point, it's turned out to be cheaper than what we're seeing right now, man. It just seems like Xbox thought about this and initiated it, put it out there in a way like a simpler way, a lot easier to manage and a lot easier to like understand.
Yeah, it's more user friendly, and that's just them testing things out, making sure things work on the front end when they're designing the console versus the way PlayStation did it. Like, I don't know what engineer, go back to the launch of this console, the PlayStation 5. How was this not tested before? And obviously, to me, it seems like it was tested and they couldn't get it to work, and that's why it's taken almost 9 months for them to get the shit that, in beta. Like, the fact that I'm hearing the word beta for something that should be working when you sell it, is like, it's a misstep. to me from them. Like how would you feel if like you bought an Xbox and they're like, oh, well, your controller won't sync for the first year. You got to plug it in.
If you want to use your controller, if you want to use your brand new controller that you got with your system, we have a beta that you can sign up for to see if your controller works. Yeah, that is ridiculous right there. Absolutely ridiculous. Yo, shout out to the friendly neighborhood Blue Shell hitting up that super chat. That is right, people. The super chat does indeed work. He said, this is great. Let's have K Mega use his PS5 to test the SSD capabilities. I trust K Mega to let us know if it works or not. Damn, I think he just wants K Mega's PS5 bricked here. But yeah, Crispy, you got to chime in on this, man. Like Dude, I don't know. Were you on Twitter? Did you catch the news? Because, like I said, I didn't, but I trust in what Pred's saying here. What do you think about this? The storage expansion, like capabilities, options when it comes to the PS5, bro.
Well, I caught enough of it. I'm not saying that like I read into it really hardcore. I will say some are saying like much less in price compared to others, like certain sites. Not really caring about that. I do appreciate that PlayStation gives you options. The problem is that it sounded like at some point that this was like a proprietary thing in some way, and it doesn't seem like that anymore. Now it seems like the hardware has never been announced for PlayStation. It's just already there. So my question is why do it the way you did? Recommend certain ones that are going to work for certain people at certain price points. This is a misstep on Sony marketing at this point. I mean, you announce that you can do it, but you really don't give like true preferences or things that are going to work really well for it. Instead, you say it's a beta. And we're getting on a year into the console's life. You know what I mean? We're getting closer and closer, and this is technically, a hardware capability that hasn't been enabled. That's the way it looks like it. It's not that they were waiting on certain hardware to be out, SSDs. All they're waiting on is actually enabling it. It's a little strange to me. The fact is that, Xbox really thought about this. And a lot of people don't realize, but, at the beginning when they announced, how they're, doing their storage, the SSD, in this small compact thing, I looked it up. And the one thing that keeps coming up is photorealistic cameras or cameras that, basically, photographers use.
Okay.
So it had much higher, even higher resolution textures, obviously. But at the same time, it also used this proprietary like interconnection into the system. So each one was built for the system that was using it. So, we'll go way back, and I'm just going to mess with people. Polaroid makes a camera that uses 4K textures, uses everything, and it's for photographers. It's the highest end. It's $1,000, and then SanDisk would come out with a 2-3 terabyte little card that would store these high quality images on it, and this is kind of what they used at Xbox. It's very similar. The cards look identical in some way. It's kind of strange, but when they started talking about the whole interconnection and everything, the question I have for PlayStation is this actually going to take advantage of their SSD? Because that's exactly what Xbox did. You don't have to transfer data anywhere. All you have to do is plug it in to its port, and you have whatever games you put on it for life. If they're Series X enabled or not, it's a part of it.
Well, from listening to what Sony said, what PlayStation said about the PS5, that when you put the SSD in there, as long as it's PlayStation certified, which now is absolutely hilarious now that they're doing a beta and they're having people test it out themselves with it. But if it's PlayStation certified, then yeah, you'd be able to play the games directly off the SSD, the same way that you would with the storage expansion for the Series X or the Series S. I believe that is the way. But then again, like I said, they said that they were going to be testing. They're supposed to be PlayStation certified SSDs out there, and like they're having their consumer base, they're having the gamers out there test it for them in a beta, which is oh man.
Well, and that's my point. And this is the way I look at consoles, because I've had a computer in my life. Like, I played games mostly on a computer for a period of time in my life. And the one thing is usability, ease of use. Those buzzwords that are kind of corny, at the same time mean something, and the reason why you buy into a console ecosystem. Then you can hand your 5-year-old or your 6-year-old, and you'd be like, well, push this button, push that button. Okay, you're playing a game now. Figure it out. You know what I mean? If that's what you... Some people parent different, but, you know, certain people are like, you know, just figure it out. And that's the ease of use. It's not sitting there putting, you know, different components into a PC and making it better or making it able to run certain games. That's the whole point of it. And I feel like PlayStation ignored that. And on top of that, you said it's PlayStation certified. Okay. Well, why don't you tell the people every, you know,
give us the
SSD
list
maker. Yeah, give us the list. Like, if it seems like a free-for-all, and I've been saying this, like, it seems like a free-for-all. On one hand, you get choice. On the other hand, you don't know what choice is right, and that's pretty messed up, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. Yo, shout out to Nola Origins. Now, this isn't a super chat, but I read it and I was like, man, I gotta say this out loud. He said, Sony spent all their time and resources on the controller and released a mid-system, no smart delivery, quick resume, crazy SSD, just a bad design. Like, when it comes to like the smart delivery, the quick resume, I am in your corner on that one. I'm not sure, because these companies, they know what each other is doing before that information comes out. Like, you know, they're in circles, like they're talking to developers that are working on, you know each platform, and they kind of let each other know, like they get the information on the other system and stuff. So to see that PS5 doesn't have those types of features, I mean, it is a little crazy. But we gotta get to the man on the panel who has been gaming hardcore on the PlayStation 5, and I think we all know who that is. That is the man, the myth, the legend, Angry Otter. Yo, Dark, are you rushing out to pick up one of these SSDs, man? Are you gonna be in the beta? Are you gonna test this out for Sony? What do you think about this news, bro?
I feel like that gif of Mad Max when he's just like, that's a trap. That's bait.
That's bait. That's bait.
That's bait.
That's bait.
Hell no, man. I ain't gonna run out and fucking buy one of these damn things. They cost almost about as much as the fucking console if you want a good sized one. Like, I mean, yeah, 1 terabyte. I mean, even 1 terabyte is expensive. You know, like even I think the Xbox One is expensive. Like, $219 shouldn't even be that much for 1 terabyte. But I understand, you know, at least Xbox had that out day one when this came out. So kudos to them for that. And they deserve all the props for that, because when PlayStation put this out there today, I did see a lot of people being like, well, if you get a different one, then you know Sony's not responsible. Well, of course, They're gonna put that in the writing. Of course they're gonna fucking put that. They're trying to save their ass, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like this is what companies do, man. They just, you don't think Microsoft does the same thing? They do. They might not say it. They may not, put it out there. But I'm sure there's things in Microsoft and Xbox that they put out there that is saving their ass from having to dish out money to you guys.
Yeah,
And
they'll just,
that's
if
the
you
thing.
complain, if something
That's
breaks and you complain, they'll just ban you off of PlayStation.
right, or whatever. I mean, that's just the way that's just the way the business runs. Like you can't um you can't really fault them for that, because it's like, well, like it's what they have to make money, and that's what they want to do. That's what they don't care about us. And I've been saying that from the beginning. Like, none of these companies care about
None of
us.
these
If you think
companies
that,
care about us, man.
yeah, if you think anybody cares about any of these companies care about us, they don't. Even Xbox, they don't care. They just want your money. They just want what you're paying for is Game Pass. They want those Game Pass subscriptions. They want the Xbox, consoles being sold. They want all that stuff. So I mean, and with this was like this, like I said in the beginning of this conversation, I felt like Mad Max in the movie. That's bait, because
Fury Road, like one
they
of the
put
greatest.
the Fury Road, yeah, from Fury Road,
Okay,
yeah, dude, I would
okay.
fucking love that movie. Um, and when they put this out there, I was all like, these motherfuckers are doing this all wrong,
Yeah.
all kinds of wrong. Like, this is not how you put out a feature that should be there day one. Period. Like, just because I don't care about it, just because I'm not gonna do it, just because I don't. I'd rather just have it in an external hard drive, which they finally did do. Of course, you can't play your PlayStation
Yeah,
5
no,
games off of
you
it,
have to move
but
it. You have to move it
you
to
can
the
move them.
SSD.
You can move them. You
That's a
can move
pain
them.
in the ass. That's the reason why I have a storage
I
expansion
understand.
now.
I understand. I understand that it is a pain in the ass, but for me, I don't care. I'm gonna save some money and I'm gonna do it that way. I'm not fucking gonna deal with this bullshit of having to open up your console and fucking put in this SSD and all that bullshit. I mean, granted, Xbox did it the right way. I think it's expensive as shit, but they did it the right way by putting basically an external hard drive that just goes in the back of your console. You
It
know,
fits right
that's
into the
exactly
velocity architecture. It's basically
yeah. It
it's
just
it's the inside store. It's the inside
right,
memory just on the outside. Like
right,
you
They,
put
they
it.
no,
right,
no,
exactly.
but let's
And
be honest for a second. Xbox actually went old school and told you buy a memory card. Here you go. That's what they did.
yeah, yeah, they did, and but I still think it's expensive as shit. I don't think I wouldn't spend $200 something on a fucking external hard drive or anything like that. I wouldn't, because I'm when it comes to things like that, I won't spend the money on it because I don't see the value for me in it, because when I play my games, when I'm done with them, I either put them on the external hard drive, or I just delete them off of my console.
Can
Like,
we?
I don't have
It,
any reason to go back and play some of these games. For me personally, I have no reason to go back and play the game. But
well,
some games, there are games that I do want to go back and play, so I do keep them on the system, or I keep them on an external hard drive. So me moving that stuff over, it takes like a few minutes. I've done it already. It takes like a few minutes for it to move over from my external to my PS5. I'm okay with it. I'm content with doing it that way. I understand where other people are coming from, though, where they want to be able to not have to do all that stuff, which is understandable. But PlayStation should have made it easier for people to upgrade their hard drive. They did this last generation where you had to go into the fucking PlayStation 4 to upgrade your hard drive. They did it last gen. But then of course finally they did the external hard drives that you could use. And this gen they did the same thing. But at least they did the external hard drive quicker than they did with the PS4, because when the PS4 came out, it took them like almost 4 or 5 years for them to do an external hard drive for it.
Yeah, well, they didn't have any choice, Dark.
But no, you're right on that.
Digital game sales is almost at 50%, right. I bet at this point,
right?
You know what I mean?
Which makes complete sense because they needed to do it. They had to do it. They were forced to do it, and it made sense. But it's like now with this whole SSD thing, it's like who's gonna have who when it comes down to it in a couple years, I think when things start to ramp up with games and things like that, because we're only in the first year. When things start to really ramp up, which is in the third year usually, we're gonna look back on this. We're gonna be like, okay, is it worth it for the SSD for the PlayStation 5?
And I just
that's the thing. I don't think it will be. Honestly, I don't think it will be. But
in a few years, real quick, just in a few years, these SSDs are going to be more numerous. They're going to be out there more. It's going to be almost kind of like older tech, and it's going to drop in price. It will.
Well,
we're going to see which one's going to be cheaper too.
You're killing me.
We're going to see.
Everybody's cut me off. Listen to me for 1 second. Right now, okay, games are not optimized for the new hardware. That includes the SSD for both companies. The thing is you can use an external SSD and play right off of it most of these games, and they will be up-resed that are old gen games. As we get into new games that come out, your Ratchet and Clanks, your Mediums, your any game that says, it's only for these gen consoles, as they become more prevalent, they're in there more and more, and they can only play on those consoles, and as people purchase them, they're going to look at these price points and this hardware, and it's going to be a totally different spectrum. I'm sure if it's not PlayStation certified, as they say, if you buy an SSD, it fits, it's going to work, but it's just might as well be an external. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I go and say, and I think everybody said it, you need to specify better, what is logical to purchase right now, because at this point, it's not a big deal, because we're still playing older gen games that will probably run off your external. But at a certain period in time, we're going to say, well, where's all our memory? And I think Xbox's solution is much easier for the consumer than anything else. And I think it's kind of crazy that they came out so early.
I think
that all of a sudden it's actually like it was looked at like, are you crazy? You're selling this before the console comes out. And now it's like, man, like how far ahead were they really? And that's the way I look at it.
Well, I think they have to come up with a way to reduce the size of these games. They have to come up with a way to do that.
They are
especially
trying
on
to do
the
that.
Especially on the
both
PlayStation.
Companies are trying to do that. But just real quick, Extreme D. I hear what you're saying. Can we talk about Sony without throwing Microsoft up all the time? Now the thing about this is when Xbox came out with their storage expansion, there was a lot of people, and I actually feel bad for these people that were like, wait until Sony comes out with theirs, because wait until that storage expansion, because there are going to be so many options, and they're going to be cheaper than who's going to spend over $200 for a storage expansion. And now you look at what's going on here, Six Layer said, it's as expensive as the tech is, basically. is what's going on right now. And that is absolutely true. Now, Sick, you knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. I know, K-Mega saw this, and I'm pretty sure everybody else on this panel saw this coming. But, for those hardcore guys out there that were like, oh, Sony's going to give you so many options, and you're going to have cheaper options and stuff like that. That's not the truth. Now, when talking about Sony, though, we can talk about how they are going about this in terms of a beta, because they said that these have to be PlayStation certified SSDs. So where is that list? How come they are not coming out with a list for people who are going to, join that beta and basically test this out for them? Like, I don't understand. That is the insane part to me. Like, yeah, go out and buy a bunch of SSDs, test them out, and see what works for us. I think that is insane.
This beta is completely ridiculous. This shouldn't even take place. This goes to show me, for this particular instance, that they were like, oh, we ain't ready for this yet. So we got to do a beta first, because you only really do a beta unless you're like not really sure if it's gonna work or not, or you're trying to test something. So this is exactly what they're doing. They're trying to test it to see if it works, and guaranteed some of these people are gonna have problems, and that. Honestly, I'm not fucking doing it. I wouldn't even have done it in the first place, even if it wasn't in beta. I would still.
Who would test something that could possibly, brick
a
system, brick a system that cannot be easily obtained again? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like PS5s, Series X's, like, they are very few and far between. There are waiting lists at different stores and stuff like that for when they get more product in. So who in their right mind would test out SSDs and risk bricking a system to where there's no guarantee you can get another one? Like,
I think the only ones
within a reasonable time.
The only ones who are really going to test this are like Digital Foundry, people who are in the gaming industry are really going to test this. I think most can. I mean, I'll give some people the benefit of the doubt, but I think most people will be like, hell no, I ain't doing that. I'm not testing this shit out. I'm not risking my console for this,
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, nope, not going to do it, But there will be those who are like, oh, I'll do it, and then when the console gets bricked, they're going to like complain and bitch and moan on Twitter, and then PlayStation's going to be like, oh, okay, sorry.
From what I've seen on Twitter, my buddy J-Dub City should be first in line to test out these SSDs. Come on, J-Dub, you want to do it, bro. You know you want to. K-Mega, are you back yet?
Yep, I'm back.
All right, cool. You're feeling good? Everything? You're
yeah. You know how we do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not one to when I go to the facilities. I like to take my time, let it marinate. You know what I'm saying? Got
the cell phone out, checking Twitter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Looking at the draft,
looking at porn.
Yeah, no,
not when you're doing that, man. That'd be really weird. Like,
that'd be really weird because that would be really uncomfortable too. Because if the meat like grows while I'm sitting, it's uncomfortable. I'm not doing all that, so I'm not.
All right, so Mega, you hear what's going on here. So now there is a beta test for SSDs. Now the only company to come out and say these will work on the PlayStation 5 are Seagate, right? The 1 terabyte is like $270. The 500 gigabytes like $180, and you keep going up and up, and from there, like 4 terabyte is over $1,000. I think it's really funny that the prices are that expensive. I think we tried to warn people about this, K-Mega. They didn't want to hear us, but again, Sony said that these have to be PlayStation certified. Like they're, PlayStation certified SSDs, and for some rhyme or reason, they are not giving a list of PlayStation certified SSDs to the gamers who might actually want to test this out. I gotta ask you, like, what do you think about this beta? How Sony is going about this? And then again, like we said, who is really going to beta test something on a console where there is no guarantee that if something happens to that console, they're going to get another one anytime soon? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This was something that was really crazy because this guy named Will Judd, he posted something, and I didn't have no idea who the guy was. And I posted and I retweeted it, and I was asking people like, will this work? And he put some kind of, let me look in. It looked foreign, but it looked like it would work. But oh come on, I hate when they do the whole cookies thing. No thanks, I don't want the ad blocker stuff. Okay, so he was talking about the requirements and everything, and so then I think that this guy is what he's saying that you could put in a certain type of different SSDs, but I guess what he put in was something that was a PC NVMe SSD that works. But it look, I don't even know what it is. I'm trying to look exactly what the hell the thing was. Because he's basically talking about that this thing has to have a heat sink, and so he was trying to find a better way. Oh yeah, here it is. He says they used a WD-SN 850, which is $250, or use a Seagate Fire CUDA 530, which is $255.
A Fire CUDA. I'm sorry.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. And so then he says you can buy the drive without a heat sink, then add one yourself before installing the newly upgraded drive into the PlayStation 5. And so he put it in there, and it was this, and the name of it, I guess, which is the name of the heat sink is Argus. It's ADRUS, and this thing looks freaky as hell. But he's got it in there with the he's got one of those ones that he posted that I told you about, the WD or the Fire CUDA, and then he's got his own heatsink applied to it, which is this Adris or whatever. And it doesn't look like that you can close it into the place that, like you got the little slot where you put it in, and then you got the little lid that you put it over.
Yeah,
it's too big. The lid won't fit over it.
But can he put the white fins on it to cover it up, and if it's standing up though?
Yeah, he could put the fins back on, but the lid part that where you screw in, it won't. It's too big. And so then I just posted it, and then come to find out that this guy is he's the senior staff writer for Digital Foundry, Eurogamer, and Deals Foundry. Okay, so for me, this is the thing. This is the problem, right? So you will, instead of you trying to find a solution since you're in this business and you're in the gaming media, to find out why Sony hasn't done anything of what maybe Xbox is doing, or try to find the proper way to the proper device to go into the PlayStation 5's memory slot, you're going to try to do a workaround for them to try to make them look good. Like, look, you can do this for $250. So you're saving $25 compared to what the 1 terabyte is, which is $275, and you have to put in, and then you don't have the whole thing to the heat sink to put it on there to.
Yeah, doesn't that cost properly. Money as well?
Yeah. Like I'm like, what are you doing? And then for certain games, this thing might not work.
Oh my goodness.
So I mean, so because I seen D-Batch and them, they came in and said, yeah, it looked like it'll work. I mean, 6layer and them said, yeah, it looked like it'll work. But the point of the matter is that you shouldn't have to go through hoops in order to make sure that it would work. You want just to have the product listed, like Sony said that they were going to list. I believe Sony did a list not too long ago. I mean, in the beginning of the generation, right when like I think a month before or during the summer or something, where they were showing a list of some of the potentials of that was going to be working for it, working with the PlayStation 5. No, you know what I'm saying? There is no list now, and this is the only option that you have. Then just go for it. People can't complain. People can't use shortcuts. Listen, this is some shade tree shit. Ghetto ass shit. If you go sit here and try to put anything extra in here just to try to cut corners, the thing that I'm going to tell you is that good luck. Because once Sony finds out what you put in your console, or you try to lie and try to get out of it, Sony's going to ask all different types of questions. They're going to know what works and what's not. And then, of course, online is always people are going to tell on themselves. They're going to say, Sony, look at this. I put this in here with the heat sink like you told me to, and it just didn't work. And then when you find out that it's something that Digital Foundry or this guy Will Judd sent to you and said that this was supposed to work and you could save a couple of dollars and it don't, then what? That to me is the most problematic.
Your warranty is null.
Yeah,
right?
Your warranty is null. That they're not going to give you. They're not going to fix it. That to me is the craziest shit that I've ever seen with this guy. I'm saying he is a senior staff writer for somebody in the gaming space, and he's trying to do cut corners and trying to make Sony look okay with this situation. Just say it's a mistake. That's it. That's all. It's okay to say that Sony makes a mistake. This is ridiculous to me. Only thing, I hope that when people they go out there, because you know what, there's going to be people that's going to try to make shortcuts. You know, people are. That is just human nature. I just hope that they just don't get screwed over because they'll listen to some YouTuber or somebody out there to try to give them some kind of advice, and if it breaks and it busts, you know that content creator is not going to reimburse them. No. And you know Sony's not going to they're going to say the warranty is null and void. So I just hope, just telling people, just be aware of what you're doing, and if not, just save your chips if you don't have the money to get the $275 1 gig, or just wait until probably within somewhere around next year, where the price will go down, and the prices for those will go down pretty quick. I mean, pretty heavily. So it's not like with the Xbox version, what Xbox has, that I think that price will go down for sure, but it won't drop in price as fast as what Sony's will.
No, proprietary doesn't, because when you're dealing with SSDs that can be used in PCs and stuff, when you're dealing with hardware that can go in multiple different directions like that, that caters to a more general population, kind of like population of consumers, which you've seen even like cell phones, stuff like that. Over time, they drop in price, and that's kind of what you'll see.
Right, and they'll drop in price. Yeah, and they'll drop even faster than or lower than what Xboxes will. But just be patient, or just spend the money and get it right. You spent $500 for these consoles. There is no reason in the world why you would want to put some kind of foreign bullshit in it that isn't labeled as being sufficient for the console that you bought it for. That's it. I understand that this is kind of, you might have had to work around with the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 2, or maybe even did stuff with the PlayStation 4. But I wouldn't. The way that thing has been locked out, and Sony has made it to where people couldn't use it, to now offer you something, which at least you can give them props for that, because it's been, because I've been hounding about it ever since they haven't done anything.
Same here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just go ahead and just spend the money, and then or just wait. Do not put in any cheap shit just because you want to save a buck, because if that PlayStation or that game messes up, then it's all on you, and then you can't complain to nobody else.
Yeah, but they don't even know if that one that they recommended even is gonna work with every single game.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah,
it's like why even take the risk at all? Period.
I don't know. I don't know. So and that it to me is why Sony is. That's what I'm saying. Like the media should just say, look, hey, it's a mistake. This is a blunder. Just sit here and just give us the right information for what we need to know, and when the time is right. If it's not there yet, then it's just not there yet. Don't. People have already kind of written it off as it is in the PlayStation community, and they're just living with however they're doing it, and that's fine. But to just try to, throw something in the pot because maybe Xbox has a series of games or whatever, that just, just for the namesake of saying, oh, look, this is something that you can just get off our backs about, because that's exactly what this seems like. This is obviously been a big enough problem for Sony for them to want to make this type of move, especially not knowing if all the games is going to work. So pretty much like you guys have been saying beforehand, this is a beta test. So good luck. Good luck.
I pray for you guys. I hope the best. Real quick,
this is why I'm waiting on the PlayStation to give me a PlayStation 5 a little bit later, man, because this has just been a mess for this first year going for Sony.
I'm trying to give GRG some love real quick because Six Slayer is in the chat and he says, check me out tomorrow night. I am going in. So guys, definitely check out GRG tomorrow and
Crossfire. You're supposed to be on tomorrow night, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna do it. I'm double dipping, bro. Double dipping. Tomorrow night is gonna be very interesting on Crossfire as well, because I can't wait to hear the damage control. And then when I try to prove some common sense out there, get cut off repeatedly, so this way nobody hears the common sense in this topic. But guys, we're gonna stay with PlayStation because, as we all know, PlayStation, acquired a couple studios. One of them was Nixxes Studio. And when they acquired Nixxes, Nixxes is known to make ports to games to go to the PC, other platforms as well. But they're really known for porting games that are on console to the PC. Now, so when Sony acquired them, common sense would tell you, oh wow, they are getting a development studio to strictly work on porting games, PlayStation exclusives to the PC. And then there was a whole crowd of people out there like, well, no, they don't necessarily have to do that. They're going to let that development team grow. They're going to let them make their own games and put them out exclusive on PlayStation console. Well, our buddy Jim Ryan clarified this whole thing, and shout out to Knoxximus for putting this article in our DM. Yo, Dark, you should probably put these articles also in Discord as well if you ever do have the time, and everybody who is a part of our Discord can check it out as well. But the headline for this article is Jim Ryan confirms Nixxes acquisition was to help port PlayStation titles to PC. All right. As translated by Push Square, Ryan said that the company was happy with our efforts to provide our IP to PCs, although it is still in its infancy. So what we have seen now is just the beginning of what PlayStation is going to do in terms of porting their games to PC. Soak that in, people. It is just the infancy, the very beginning. And we look forward to working with Nixxes to help with that. Nixxes is a studio that specializes in PC ports. They've previously helped convert Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Deus Ex Mankind Divided to PC. And they go on and on with, the ports that Nixxes has made and stuff like that. But Jim Ryan has basically come out and told everybody why they acquired Nixxes. It is not to let the development studio grow and to start making their own content. No. And I think this is a good idea as well. This is for PlayStation to have a studio to strictly get their exclusives and port them to PC. So that takes like the Naughty Dogs, the Sony Santa Monicas, and all the other studios. It lets them go ahead and work on new games and stuff, and kind of like move past it. When they drop a game, they'll have Nixus, in the corner getting ready to port it over to PC, and they'll be able to go ahead and create kind of like the next game that they were making. I think that is a good idea. I really feel like if you have a specialized studio like that, if you don't have that technology, kind of like if you're not invested the way Xbox is into making games that kind of like scale up and down, just kind of like naturally, with some development kind of like set up there. It's not just, bing bang boom and it runs on everything. There is some development time there, but the ease of use, the ease of scaling and stuff like that, it's something that Xbox and their development studios are kind of like known for. If you don't have that, have a dedicated studio there ready to port games over. So, K-Mega, we heard you on this last topic, but you were last. I'm going to make you first because I feel like we haven't gotten enough K-Mega in yet. So, Mega, excellent. What do you think about this, man? Jim finally came out and let people know exactly what we have been saying, and do you think it is a good idea for them in the direction that they're going?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was saying this on a Addict show the other day, and it's always made sense. I mean, we've been saying this. I mean, look, everybody on GRG, everybody pretty much on this panel has been saying this all through the years of how this is, at one point in time, it may not make sense for what Xbox was doing back in 2015, 2016, when it first was implemented, when these games started, especially when Quantum Break went over to PC, and then, the rest of the, in Gears and all that. But then now, as you look at it, all of everything that has happened between that time from 2016 to now only indicates that Xbox is growing. I mean, just look at their numbers here, Reese, just for what they just talked about, for goodness sake. And that this is the future of gaming. This is exactly what all this talk about the preservation of consoles and that legacy, and how you have to keep exclusives only to consoles and not to put it on any other entity is absolutely bonkers, because that is the Fred Flintstone, Barney Rubble logic. It doesn't make sense in this type of world, because everything else is gone digital and everything else is pretty much on every other type of platform. Why is it that gaming has to be set in a position to where it just can't grow? In order for you to be spending money on these games, I mean, not Jim Ryan, but Sean Layton said it himself. Games are going upwards of, especially for big AAA budget titles, is going upwards to $200 million to be made. That's nuts. Yeah. Right? That's big budget. That's big blockbuster movie budgets that we're talking about. So you mean to tell me that, okay, so sure, the PlayStation 5 could sell 130 million consoles. Is that mean that's not even putting a dent into what of how much growth that Sony could get if they put their games on consoles. On PC and through streaming and everything else. People want to play these PlayStation games. So why is it that but there's going to be PC gamers who refuse to buy a console? If they spent $3,000 to $4,000 for more, even $2,000 plus on a PC, they don't have any desire to spend any money on anything else other than maybe a Nintendo Switch, because they know Nintendo is not going to change anything. And if you look at the price range of where Nintendo is, they're kind of affordable. But if you're telling a PC only gamer to spend another $400 to $500 for another product just to play, and then pay $70 when they could have the opportunity to get that same game, or that they game other games that Sony put over on PC for $50 to $60, it's not happening. It's just not going to happen. So the best thing for them to do is to have their first party IPs go over to the PC and also do a service as well. But this is the topic is only just for this for Nexus. So this was a smart move for them. For anybody that was coming out with this crazy notion that they were going to try to make this out into a gaming studio, that's not what they're built for. It's not what they do. This is a very smart decision by Sony, and now Jim Ryan, instead of them spoon feeding you, is now just putting it right there into your face. Now, just take it. We're gonna.
Will they accept it though? Will they accept it?
They have no choice to accept it. They had to accept MLB The Show being a multi-plat. They had to accept Horizon Zero Dawn going to go PC. Horizon Forbidden West is going to go to PC. Spider-Man is eventually going to go to PC. God of War is going to eventually go to PC. And God of War 2, that whenever God of War gets shown, then that means God of War 2 is going to be coming over to the PC. Then for anything else, for the big titles that's coming over is happening. Look, Atlas, this is why I feel that Atlas is going to broaden their horizons and start putting games on other platforms, well, on Xbox pretty much. It's because of the fact that they seen, well, damn, we've been listening to this Sony first rhetoric, or it's just that they didn't, maybe Sony's money was so good that it's so lucrative that they didn't have to branch out. But now they see, man, look at all this money that we put on the table now since we put, Persona 4 and we got Persona Striker and we got other games that's over here on PC and how they're selling. So of course they're going to be coming to Xbox here eventually. There's no question in my mind. So that to me is just gaming itself has gotten broader. They all have this vision. Sony is just a little bit behind on the curve. I mean, Nintendo doesn't have to do anything extra because Nintendo's fan base will keep them sustained forever. That's just a fact. But for PlayStation, they have to make these moves because they're trying to keep up with Microsoft. They were fine last gen because Microsoft was stumbling all over the place trying to get it together. Now they got all their ducks in a row. Now Sony's going to have to play catch up. This is the first part of it right here, and it's a smart decision for them.
Yeah, and like I said, there are many people out there that pointed to this and said basically the common sense on this acquisition. It's like, well, yeah, there you go. More PlayStation games will be going to PC. Again, another key thing in this article, he said that the games that have shown up so far when it comes to PC, it's in its infancy, very beginning. So for people out there that don't think the newer PlayStation exclusives that come out in the future won't be going to PC at a quicker rate, I have news for you guys. And I think you guys should listen because we have been spot on when it comes to this subject, as well as like
ever since 2020. Once Xbox did Gears 5, and then of course when Gears 5 dropped, and even though Gears 5 was having Gears 5, but Gears 4 dropped on PC, and it was having those issues at first, and then people was like, see, this is what, and I'm like, watch, it's going to be fine. And then the Killer Instinct, and then there was another game. I'm trying to think what that other game was that took off for Xbox on PC, and what that was before Sea of Thieves, and I can't remember which game that was. And then I said, Sony's watching. Sony is watching this right now. That was in 2017. That was in 2017 when I started saying that. And I mean, and you were saying it as well, but I'm just saying that tells you right there that Sony does not want to put their money, don't want to leave no money off the table. They spent the money to get this done because they know that they've made some really good bread off of the PC gamers out there. And that is a great point. I see our boy Viper in there talking about how does our boy Crab Gamer feels about this, because remember he was upset about Quantum Break. So now once some of these PlayStation games that he loves and he touts, what's going to be that excuse then?
I don't know, yo. Shout out to Albert G again, in the chat, and brother, he says, how many PC gamers have a PS5 though? He's like 120 million sold, and now 10 million PS5s. So Albert, don't use how many PS4s were sold if you're talking about PS5s, because I know that's a nice number for you, 120 million sold, but it's 10 million PS5s out there right now, and I don't know what the number is. What happened, K-Mega?
And not all of them is in homes.
Yeah,
they might be in a home, but they're still in a box with a whole bunch of other ones ready to be purchased.
According to Twitter, people on Twitter, that is a very small number of the PS5. So I guess there are millions and millions.
There's a lot of people that hits me up daily that are my PlayStation friends that's still looking for a PlayStation 5. So that and they are diehard PlayStation fans out here in Oklahoma. So how the hell is it that they don't have one? Is kind of telling. Just saying.
Well, it's funny for people who are in the MPDs, like what Albert just said with the 10 million sold. It's funny that, when Sony comes out and said they sold 10 million, so many people come out with their pom-poms and start cheering. But when the MPD came out and Microsoft was on top in terms of money-wise, then they were like, well, that's because there's limited supply of PS5s. And it's like, well, which one is it? Like, they already crossed 10 million and everything is looking great there. Or there is an absolute shortage, which got Xbox to win in terms of like money when it comes to the MPDs. Guys, which one is it?
Bot.
You gotta be consistent on this. Which one is it, guys? I don't know. Crispy, what do you think about this whole Nixxis acquisition? I think you were in the same vein as I think everybody on this panel was pretty much the same. Except maybe for Dark. I don't remember what he said about this when we first popped off about Nixxis. But Jim Ryan just basically came out and just laid common sense out. Are the extremists out there going to listen to it, or are they going to turn a blind eye? What's good, man?
Extremists? I mean, everybody can be extreme at times. I don't know how to look at extremists, because one minute they'll be like, oh, you're stupid for saying that, and the next minute they'll be like, oh, you're kind of right. The point is that I look at this from a corporate standpoint, and the only reason why I do that is because I have worked as a manager way too long. That's why. So, the fact is that you were going against the top four. It's between Google, Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft all the time. It's just a constant influx of who's going to be the $1 trillion company today. That's the way I look at it. And you are Sony, and at this point, we'll give them credit and say it's $300 billion they're worth. And then you have all of these companies, that have gotten into gaming recently that could literally buy you out if they wanted to, and probably pay way over what you are worth. And you continue to say no. So, you know what? I salute Sony for saying, F you companies that the only company that makes hardware and software really very well out of all of them is Apple, but at the same time, they have fallen to the bottom for those four companies many times. The ones that make software in some way, shape, or form, are just Google and Microsoft. And, one was successful with gaming and the other wasn't. And the only reason why the other wasn't is because they were too late to the situation. And basically all these people that work there are disappearing. This great talent is disappearing. And you look at Microsoft, and they've been there. We're 20 years, people. 20 years that Xbox has been here. Okay? Many of it, I didn't play Xbox. The OG Xbox, never touched the damn thing, basically.
Oh, you missed out,
I may have played it once. Okay? 360, I finally said, enough's enough. I got to try it. They're still here.
Everybody and their brother had a 360. Let's be real.
But they also were, dude, they also broke so easily. And that's why I appreciate what they've done now, because, we're in a generation where, it means something. There's a lot of hardware in these consoles, and I was like, well, the thing hasn't broke yet. That's the way I look at stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if it don't break anytime soon, I'm a happy person. My investment feels worthy. The point is that, Sony has to do certain things to compete. And one thing is they're a hardware, at the end of the day, they're a hardware-based company. They've made TVs, they made, consoles, they've constantly hardware, and then their software is really game-based more than anything. And then movies and TV, but the movies and TV, people would say it's not really software. You know what I'm saying? So their whole thing is, doing kind of hardware-based things, like exclusives, stuff like that. They have been riding with that forever. It is working to right now. But why not take hundreds of millions of people that have a darn PC, and I'm not talking about just like a rig. I'm talking about, a laptop. Like, anything can be considered a PC at this point. And saying, we're going to purchase a company and they're going to port some of our biggest titles over to this, because that's the whole thought process. They have great exclusives. Why not take them and port them and make more money? Okay, and that's the whole point to it. Like, it's a totally logical scenario. I don't think, people really truly believed that they were going to make a new IP. I really don't. But at the same time, it's a talking point. And I hate that, because at the end of the day, their purchase of Nixxis was amazingly smart.
Yes.
Because of, what they are capable of money-wise. I'm not taking away from what they do. What I'm saying is money-wise, you can only do so much. And I feel like a developer, a place that can say, hey, all we do is port your games to PC and make them as best as possible. I think that's a big deal. And you got to understand, if you want to go the comparison, Microsoft has probably that huge team that does the same thing, and you just don't hear about it because they're not under a developer name. They're just part of Microsoft. So anybody that hates what they did, I think it's just irrelevant, because the fact is they did the right thing. They did what they needed to do, and Sony's going to be here for a long time. That's the way I look at it.
Got you. Our brother Albert G is in the chat trying to convince everybody that all PC gamers own a PlayStation 5. I'm like, all right. But he's completely guessing on that whole thing. I read words like I think all. And stuff like
not
that.
All.
Yeah, not
so.
Not,
am
that's
I?
Right, that's right.
Am I
Fred.
wrong? If every PC gamer has an Xbox, is that something that like?
See, what Xbox, the cool thing about it is, if you're a PC gamer, you don't necessarily have to buy the console. You can still get into Game Pass. You can still get first party games, stuff like that, and just play them on your PC. Like I think Xbox, again, thought ahead when it came to that whole thing, and it's like, well. Console and this is the deal. This is something I've said. I think K Mega has co-signed this with me, and this is something that Xbox has thought of this entire time. If you're a console gamer, then you are going to buy a console and play games on the console. If you are a PC gamer, why not put games on PC as well? And this way you'll play their games. You'll invest in their ecosystem. You'll invest in their subscription service and their titles, but still play them on PC. You're still putting money into the pot to develop new games for Xbox, and you don't have to necessarily buy the console. But if you're a PC gamer, you're going to play games on PC. If you're a console gamer, you're going to go out and buy a console and play there. If you're a mobile gamer, they have xCloud there. So if you like the small screen experience, I know a lot of people from the time they were little, they're growing up now, but they've been a part of that small screen mobile experience from the time that they were little, might prefer to play games on that smaller screen. They have xCloud. See, that's where Xbox, they're thinking about all the gamers, and instead of trying to squeeze them through the door and purchase a console, they're like, well, we'll just bring our games over there, and you can invest in us on the platform you prefer. I think that was a very smart move, especially something like people don't really talk about too much. PC is open platform. It's not a closed platform. It's open platform. There is nothing stopping, Sony to put their games. There's nothing stopping Nintendo. Can you imagine Nintendo? I remember at one point in time with the Wii U, they only had about 10 million Wii U consoles out there, right? But when a first-party game came out, they were selling like 15, 20 million copies of that game. I'm like, what? Are people buying multiples just to support them? What is going on? Can you imagine if Nintendo was like, you know what? We're going to put our games on PC as well. Can you imagine like how lucrative that would be for them as well? Like, it's an open platform. Anybody can get in on it. Anybody can, have their ecosystem on the PC. It's open platform, so why not? I look at PC gaming completely different animal than console gaming. But Predator, you have been way too quiet. I need you to chime in on this whole Nixxis thing. Jim Ryan came out and flat out said it, man. Is this what you thought of when they acquired it as well?
Yeah, I think we all kind of thought that. Like when we start looking at the history of this company, that's what they typically do. They port games to PC. I mean, they port games basically. So, yeah, I don't even know what the discussion was about. Like why people thought this was going to be any different. And I think the only thing that kind of throws me off, not really throws me off, is as I'm looking at this from a different angle. They port games. Like when you're making a new game, don't you typically build it on PC? So you should have to port it. You've already put the assets there, right? I don't make games, so someone maybe smarter than me can answer that question. But if I'm making a God of War sequel, I'd be making it for PC and PlayStation. I wouldn't need to port it over, like essentially, like the way they're making it sound. Like I think Nexus is basically for older games, or it just lets me think that it makes me think that they're not planning on ever going like the full day and date routine. Like they'll come out with a game and then they'll kick it over to Nexus to make the port, which will come out a year later or so, which could be good and could be bad. Like I think waiting a year for a port of a PlayStation 5 game on PC is a little long. I'm throwing dates out there like I really know it's going to be a year, but if you've only got one company doing it versus building it that way from the ground up, I think that's a fail to me. I think they should be kind of like focusing on, if you know that it's going to go to PC later in the future, put the assets there and just have it ready to go while you build the game instead of just doing PlayStation 5 and then having to port it over later. It's like, it seems like it's a waste of resources to me. But I don't know. I'm not in game development, so I can't really answer that question that I'm asking myself. But I don't know. I mean, I think we kind of all kind of knew that this was what they're going to do with this company. I know some people were thinking they're gonna use them to make a new franchise or something like that. No, that's not what this is for. So you saw the writing on the wall. I don't know why people, especially on the Sony side, like they see it in their face and they keep trying to create another narrative out of it. It's not there. Just it is what it is. It's right there in black and white for you. You see what the company does and what they're going to do. Why do you give yourself fake hope that this company's going to do something different than what it's done in the past? Just suck it up and accept it the way it is. You know those games are going to PC at some point in time. You guys are fighting it for years. You see the success that Microsoft has had with doing it, and other companies have had with making games on PC and console at the same time, or even later in a later date. It's happening. Just get ready for it. We beta tested it for you, and so here you go. Here comes the boom. So just deal with it, guys.
All right, I got you, man. Let me. Real quick, I just want to, Albert, man, you have a spotlight on you tonight. In my eyes just kind of gravitate right to what you're saying, man. It's weird, but he says, can we talk about how all Xbox gamers were praising the Ascent and now those Metacritic scores? If you want to talk about Metacritic, I mean, me, Meta who, but
that game is fire.
But,
what is he talking about?
But according to Metacritic, Flight Simulator is a game that scored above 90 on their system. But people are saying it's not a game. But yet Metacritic gave it as a game score over 90. Albert, why don't you talk about that Flight Simulator Metacritic score? And then we might get into the Ascent after that. Let's talk about it all, bro. Let's talk about it all. But Dark, what do you think about this, man? Are you in the same boat? This was just Nixus. Is it good that Jim Ryan basically came out and let people know exactly what this studio was acquired for, bro?
Honestly, I don't even know why he had to come out and clarify it. I mean,
True.
Come on. Like, how did you not know that this was going to be PC ports? Like, how did you not know this? Like, I don't get how you didn't see this coming. Like, come on. Of course, PlayStation sees the money, and they gravitate towards money, and they're a company. You got to realize they're a company. They are a multi-million, probably. Well, they might be in the billions. I don't know. They might still be in the millions.
We'll be safe and say millions because
we'll say millions. We'll say millions. We'll just put it there. They're a multi-million-dollar company. They are looking at the numbers. They want the money, and guess what? They're gonna put their games on PC because they're seeing the money coming in. They do not give a shit what you fucking say. They don't care if you don't buy a fucking PlayStation 5. They don't give a shit if you don't buy their fucking console. If all they see is money, and guess what? People are gonna go out. They're gonna buy the console or they're gonna buy a PC and they're gonna play their games wherever they want to play them. Period. It's the same thing with Xbox. It's like, Xbox saw the money. And guess what? That's where they went. There's nothing wrong with that. People act like that's the thing about people. They act like you're a piece of shit once you make a little money. Like you once you make a little money in your pocket, like they start hating on you. You notice that like a lot of people do that shit. Like they start hating on people because they make more money than them. And it's like, why do you even care if that person's making more money? You should just be happy that they're giving you what you want. Like, especially Sony. Like, just be happy with what you have. Like Xbox, be happy with what you have. PlayStation, be happy with what you have. And I'm talking to the gamers here. Like, you guys sit on Twitter every fucking day. I see it every day, dude. I see. Every day it gets more toxic, more fucking stupid than I've ever seen in my entire life.
I love hearing when Dark gets frustrated with Twitter, man. Dude, it's so much passion right there.
I get so frustrated, man. I even get frustrated with his chat sometimes. Because sometimes I'm thinking to myself, I get it. Like, you hate PlayStation. I get it. I get that you do not like Sony. Or you don't like the Sony fanboys. But why would you wish something upon a company that could potentially bring games to Xbox or bring games to PC? These companies are giving you options now. Of course, Microsoft's giving you more options. There is that. I will give them that. But these companies are giving you options, both of them. The only company that's really not giving you options is Nintendo. You guys should be going after fucking Nintendo, not fucking Sony and Xbox. But of course, you will go after Sony and Xbox because they're the big two. They're the big two. They're the biggest two out there. Nintendo's like that little toy, you know, in the corner. Like they do well, they do fantastic, they make a lot of money, but nobody dares touch them because they're like, oh yeah, we don't want to go after them, you know. Like I never hear anybody going saying like, oh well, why doesn't Nintendo put their games on PC, you know? Which I think they should.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they should put their games on PC. I really do. I think it gives people an option to be like, okay, well, if I don't want to buy an Xbox, a PlayStation, and a Switch all together, I could just buy a PC, spend that amount of money. If I'm already going to spend a lot of money, why don't I just spend a little bit more and get a PC and not have to worry about it anymore, you know? I see where people are coming from with that stance. For me personally, as a gamer, as a person who plays mainly on consoles, sometimes I'll play on PC depending on the game. If I can't find a game that's like, you know, like an old game like Mad Max, I mean not Mad Max, but Max Payne 3 is not backwards compatible on the Xbox, I'm going to go play it on PC. You know, like it's not is I don't know why that game's not backwards compatible on the Xbox, dude. I'm so frustrated with that too. Like that game needs to be backwards compatible with the Xbox. But, you know, I still have an option. I can go to PC and play it on there. Great, awesome. And plus PC, you know, has a bunch of deals. They always are having deals. I see games going down in price more often now. Like I see it that way. Like games are gonna start going down in price heck of a lot faster now that games are going to PC. Like Xbox games are going to PC. So guess what? They're also already in Game Pass. You know, like that's the beauty of Xbox is that you have that service of Game Pass. So you don't have to pay the extra whatever, you know, the extra what is it? I think it's like what 40 or $30 extra that you have to pay for the game just to buy it outright, you know? I mean, you can there is that option where you can buy the game, you know, for
a discount.
You know, there, which is awesome. There's that option. There should always there should always be an option to go and play something on something else, you know. And I am a firm believer of exclusives to sell the console. I do believe that, but at the same time, if a game goes from, you know, as long as it doesn't go like this, like God of War goes to Xbox, like if that ever happened, I think there would be no reason to ever buy a PlayStation at that point.
Wow.
And vice versa. I think even if Halo came to PlayStation, there's no reason for it to ever own an Xbox at that point. So it's like there is some positivity in exclusives because I mean it is part of that Xbox ecosystem. You know, the Halo, Gears, Forza, Fable, all those games are all, you know, associated with Xbox. So there's, you know, that's a good thing because you should. People look at exclusives as being like, oh, they're locking me out of getting the console. They're locking me out of doing this and doing that. They're not locking you out of shit. What they're doing is giving you a reason to go and buy that console or go out and buy a PC or whatever you want to do. They're giving you an option to do these things. So you have to look at it that way. You can't look at it as, well, they're fucking locking me out and I don't like it. Being all babies about it. I see so many people being babies, man. I'm so sick and tired of people being babies. Oh god, dude, it's fucking annoying. It's so annoying, man. It really is. And it's not just on PlayStation's end. It's on Xbox's end too. I see so many fucking Xbox fanboys out there that just it's annoying, man. It gets so annoying.
And fucking rant. We ain't got all night.
And on Twitter, I fucking mute them. Seriously, okay. I just mute people because I can't fucking. I don't want to hear it.
Well, I me personally, I don't mute people, but check this out.
It's better than blocking them.
Our buddy Chris, of course, this message was deleted. Predator's on a roll right now, but Chris was talking about the Metacritic score for Flight Sim, and he's like, I guess a PlayStation game got a high one. It was supposed to be the launch title. Chris, if you're so infatuated with Metacritic, I'm definitely I'm still Meta Who, but if you're so infatuated with Metacritic, why were you in my Flight Simulator live stream trying to talk shit about the game knowing that it got over a 90 Metacritic score? It's kind of weird that you would champion that Metacritic score. That number is so close to your heart. But when an Xbox game goes over 90, you still talk shit about it. It's kind of weird that you would do that. So let's get into
this plastic box. Bro.
Let's get into Flight Simulator, guys. I spent some time in this game. I gotta say, this game is a screenshot creator. Is definitely what it is, because as you're flying from place to place, you come across vistas and landscapes and stuff like that, and you just automatically you go and you click screenshot. You get screenshots. I shared a few out. Absolutely insane. When you are at the proper height, that's another thing I think we got to get into as well. But I think this is a really cool experience to have in Game Pass. And the reason why is people who are really into aviation and flying and stuff like that, they will get in and they will enjoy this game for exactly what it is, a flight simulator. Going in and, twisting the knobs, pushing the buttons in the cockpit, which is incredibly detailed, by the way. But, having your trips going from here to there or whatnot. But for the more casual people that aren't really into, I need a Cessna dun type plane and I'm going to do this and that, this game is going to be in Game Pass. And if you ever just want to, I just want to fly across Africa and see what that is like and kind of see the landscape and stuff. You can always download this game and go ahead and do that. And it'll always be in Game Pass. What's up?
You keep calling it a game, and some people object to that.
Is it a game? Is it a simulator? Is it a simulation of a game? Is it a game that simulates?
Let's think about this. Gran Turismo used to be branded as a racing simulator.
Well, yeah. See, I hear that, and people have put up Forza Motorsport as well as a simulator. And here's the one thing I will say when it comes to that. When it comes to racing simulators, there is still a competitive nature to that. You still want to win the race. You want to cross the line first. Stuff like that. So when it comes to a competitive nature, Gran Turismo, Forza Motorsport, any of those racing simulators, they kind of have that extra oomph because there's a competitive feature.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to explain to people that a game has to have a competitive?
No, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. But what I'm saying is I don't necessarily compare a racing simulation to a flight simulation.
Why not? Because it has a test mode just like a simulator does. That's the simulated part of the
there is one huge thing, and it's something that I just said that is different between a racing simulator and a flight simulator or a life simulator. Sims is a life simulator. Why does it have to be the same? It doesn't have to be the same.
No.
It's different.
I'm trying to slow your roll on you, trying to not make it seem like it's a game.
I'm not saying that it's not a game.
It's
Sir,
a game.
sir, don't wrap me up in that narrative. I am just pointing out. Listen, can I finish? Can I finish first? Thank you. All right. All I'm saying is that there is a key difference between a racing simulator as opposed to flight simulator, as opposed to Sims or something like that. There is a competitive nature there, so I don't necessarily put that in that same vein.
Okay,
I am
not
saying that Flight Simulator is not a game. There are plenty of games. Look at I had fun in Zoo Tycoon, right? And I wasn't trying to make the best zoo or anything like that. I was having fun with the kids and the features within that. Making faces at the chimpanzees and watching them make faces back at me and stuff like that. There's things that can be games that don't necessarily have to be competitive. That's what I was trying to say. But I was pointing out that when you go and you say, hey, well, Gran Turismo, there's a key difference between Gran Turismo and Flight Simulator or Gran Turismo.
You're wrong on that. I think you're wrong on that, dude.
I agree too, Crispy. But this is the thing too. Also, the game that Don always used to post all the time when we was competing for gameplay, and he would win all the time. The off-road game, the game that I said,
Mud Runners.
Mud Runners.
Yeah.
There's no competition in that.
That's a game, though. But it's a game.
So it's Flight Simulator. What are you talking about?
But dude, I'm not saying that Flight Simulator is not a game. Stop wrapping me in that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying there's a difference between. I'm saying there's a difference between Gran Turismo and Flight Simulator. That's what I'm saying.
No, there's not. You have an objective.
But K-Mega agreed with me, though.
Your objective is to win the race in Gran Turismo.
K-Mega agreed with me.
Your objective is to take off and land in Flight Simulator.
Okay. And
there's an objective that you control as a human being.
Sir.
That is a game.
Take your emotions.
That is the end of it.
And put them away. Man. I am not saying that Flight Simulator is not a game. I agree with you on that, Crispy. What I am saying is
the comparison is
no. It does not compare to Gran Turismo, in my opinion. It does not.
It does. It literally, Gran Turismo 2 is one of the greatest games I have ever played. But as of well, it was very simulation. You had to test your vehicle, or you were going to lose. You understand that? You had to actually go through the exact lines that would have you win the game. And that is a simulation of racing. This happens
and
to
racing
be a
is a competitive sport. That's the difference.
Why is flying not a competitive sport?
Because you're flying from one airport to... If you are flying a race, then yes, you are right. There is a competitive sport to that. But if you're flying from here to to JFK, and you're doing it for the experience, which is still a game. It's still a game. All right? But it's not competitive. All right? That's the difference.
Competitive to you. So to have the best score on landing in a certain plane compared to your friend is not competitive.
Oh, I didn't know they scored it.
You get a score.
Okay. All right. So there is something competitive in terms of leaderboards and stuff like that. I got you. All right.
Okay. I'm just saying for me, I can agree with you to some point. You understand what I'm saying? The point is that, to call yourself a simulator, you have to be a simulation. Now, I'm not talking about graphics and all that stuff. I mean, some of the Gran Turismos at the time were as true a simulation as you were going to get.
They were best for their times. Yeah. Especially 1 and 2.
So my point is that a simulation is a game. If it's in your hands and you have the control and you are playing on the screen, that's a game. That's the way I look at it.
Oh, yo, Z Black Rider, I want to get in on that. If me and a couple of my friends can go flying around together and stuff, kind of barrel roll around each other, stuff like that, I am down. I'll race you when Maverick comes out. Yeah, no doubt, brother. I am down for the whole Top Gun thing. But again, I never said that Flight Simulator was not a game. Guys, calm down. Like, I don't have to use the same comparisons that everybody's using, because trust me, I saw the Gran Turismo comparisons. I saw the Forza Motorsport comparisons. I don't necessarily agree with that, but it doesn't mean that I am on the complete other side. That's what's wrong with society today. You have to be either completely on one side or completely on the other. And I'm not saying that. I know Flight Simulator is a game. Yo, Minecraft is a quote-unquote simulator as well. I play that. It's a game. Yo, what up?
Topic, or we gonna let you rant for about?
I know because I mean I was trying to stop you while you was ahead.
Yo, well, people are jumping at me like yo, and I'm like, dude, calm down.
I hate to be rude, but what you're saying don't make any sense. It's a game, period.
Okay. But I'm not comparing it to what everybody else is comparing it, because I see a key difference. What's the problem with that?
It's not a game that you pick.
What's the problem with that?
I mean, because, okay, so like you went on this little rant and trying to say that people are trying, not everybody has to have the same, and you're right, that's fine, but what you're doing is not, what you're saying is not factual. It is a game. I
said it was a game. I said it was a game. I'm not saying it's not a game.
He's never said it's not a game. He said it's not what Gran Turismo is.
Okay, but that's fine. But
okay, that's it. That's fine. But beautiful.
I said that's fine. But again, there is a part on Gran Turismo that is just when you go for the license. There's no competition there.
A part.
Okay. I mean, shit, bud. Come on, man. You wasting my time.
I'm just saying. How can?
Come on, man. Yeah, please. So, Animal Crossing is not a game.
Did I say it's not a game? Did I say it's not a game, sir? Did I say? Hold on. Did I say it's not a game?
What about Football Manager?
Did I say it's not a game? Did I say that's not a game? Did I say that's not a game?
Why you get hyper, man?
Because I never said it's not a game. You're putting words in my mouth saying that I'm saying it's not a game. It's not what I said.
What is Tropico? What is Tropico?
Oh, just like I said, Flight Simulator was a game. Tropico is a game. You are putting me in the stable of people who are saying Flight Simulator is not a game. That is not what I'm saying at all.
No. What he's saying is why are you?
My goodness.
You can't compare. Why can't you compare?
I'm saying that I'm not doing that. I see a key difference. I'm not doing that. I don't have to agree with everybody else is saying.
It's like you just brought up The Sims, okay? Some people look at The Sims and say, I'm going to live my entire life in The Sims, okay? Right. And that's their goal,
and
okay?
You're proving that's
the end game.
Because I never said it's not a game.
You're proving my point.
What's your point?
I'm saying that there are many different types. I'm saying that there are many different types of game. Flight Simulator is a game. Like Minecraft is a game. Like The Sims are a game. When it comes to the comparison that people are throwing with Gran Turismo and Forza Motorsport, I personally see a difference in that. Are they all games? They're all games, yes. But I wouldn't necessarily use that comparison because there's a huge competitive nature. Live racing, where even the game lists first place, second place, third place. There is something there of a competitive nature that Flight Simulator does not have.
But there's a part in all those games that you said where people don't have to play competitively; they could just race and just go around the track.
I said that there is a part. There is a part to Gran Turismo to Forza Motorsport.
Where's the soundboard we need?
Bro, like
how is this not understandable?
I don't know. I'm just not getting it. I'm sorry, but that's why
you are trying to tell me that we are lumping you in with saying that it's not a game.
Because
that's not my point. My point is
because K-Mega was like, well, what is Tropico? And I'm like, that's a game, just like I said Flight Simulator's a game. He was trying to say that I was saying it wasn't a game.
Okay. No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
You were saying that. You were saying
what I'm
that.
saying
your
is that
comparisons.
Your comparisons when we did say Gran Turismo and you say it's not, then it comes off as saying like there's really no comparison about the two games.
No, and I gave comparisons of Minecraft, Sims. I gave a list of comparisons. You said Tropico, which is another game.
I know, but I also said there's parts in Gran Turismo that isn't competitive, and you tried to say it's a part. Well, I mean, every game has a part that has something in it that's different than another. I mean, but I don't. I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. You see what I'm saying? Like I
don't have to use the same comparisons. Whatever. If I see a difference in something, I don't have to say that. But I am in agreement with you guys that it's a game. So at the end of the day, I don't know why we didn't just come to the natural agreement. No, you got to say it. You got to compare Gran Turismo to this. Like, no, I don't.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I
there's
don't.
Similarities. I mean, no, the licenses and no, you don't. But again, it's just okay. Listen, there's other people that want to talk about it. I'll skip this. I'll skip this topic.
Yo, shout out Slayin' Chilean hitting up that super chat. He says this is a super chat simulator. Brother, it's not competitive, but you are winning, bro. You are winning.
Oh my God.
Yo, I love you guys, man. Absolutely. Yo.
You get hot under the collar, then you
know why you know why I got hot? Because you were trying to point out that I'm saying it's not a game, and I never said that. That was my whole point. Don't come at me and try to put words in my mouth that I'm not saying. Actually,
but
the
you're
direct
trying to
opposite.
make it seem like just because that GT has a different part, that you said it just has a part doesn't mean that isn't the same as what Flight Simulator does. Because there's the simulation. It's like what somebody in the chat just brought up about NBA 2K, Madden, NHL, FIFA. They're simulators. I mean, even though people can play them like arcade-ish, but if people want to play them more hardcore, they're more simulated games. So I just
Troysky, what is up? Yo, Troysky, what is up? Good to see you in the chat. He said we should settle it over a round of golf. I like that idea. I really like that idea, bro. But yo.
I'd rather do it with some Tekken or some Killer Instinct or something like that, but that's fine.
Shoot, man, that's my competitive play field right there, golf, which is a game, by the way.
Which is a simulator.
It is a simulator with a very big competitive element. Good job. Good job. Good job. Yo, let's get Dark in on this. Dark, have you tried Flight Simulator?
Dude, I've been enjoying this fucking Xbot on Xbot fucking going back and forth, dude. It was awesome.
Guys, hit that like button, yo. Share this out, man.
It was like, damn. All right. Usually you guys
you sound like you were gonna rip my head off, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah, it was
Don't
great.
tell me I said it's not a game.
Yeah,
finally, white on white crime is not just me and Crispy. It's Xbot and fucking Crispy this time. I'm so happy right now, man. But I mean, honestly, though, let's get serious here. Flight Simulator is not a game.
Oh wow!
Oh no,
guys, he was waiting to say that. By the way, I know he was waiting.
No, man. Honestly, when I saw this, I was like, really? You guys are really gonna say that this game is not a game? Like what? Like what? That makes no sense, dude. And this Flight Simulator has been around for eons, dude. Eons, and I've never heard anybody say that Flight Simulator is not a game, dude. It makes me laugh. I'm sorry.
You know when they said that? When it came to Xbox, that's when they said that.
But that's the thing, like. Yeah, exactly. This game was on PC first. You didn't hear anybody say that this game was not a game. Like, come on, people. Come on. Like, really try to think about what you're saying when you're trying to troll people. Because you just sound completely stupid on that one. This one sounds completely stupid. I personally will probably never play the game because I love the way that it looks. I do. Like, I love the way that it looks. I personally probably won't ever play the game because, I just have no reason to. I've never really liked flight simulators anyways. I've never gotten into it. Maybe when I get an Xbox Series X, maybe I will try it. I don't know. I don't know. I've never really played a flight simulator, so I don't know, you know, and that's the thing. Like, this game has, you know, it looks like it's so intricate with its detail that it blows my mind, dude. Honestly, like when I see pictures of it on Twitter, I'm so happy that people are enjoying it. But I love seeing like people flying through the clouds and fucking, you know, flying through cities and stuff like that. Yeah, granted, when you get close to the fucking city, the textures don't look as good. Who gives a shit?
Well,
honestly, who cares?
It actually,
why are you hitting buildings in the
that
first
whole thing
place?
depends on whether or not it's a highlighted city or it's a highlighted place of interest.
Well, I also think that has to do with your internet too. So, you know, part of it has to probably do with your internet, because I know they're using the cloud to render these cities
let
online.
me restart this,
you know, to make them look more realistic.
I flew by. I'm restarting the gameplay just because I flew by the Great Pyramids. So I'm gonna put that on. You know, it's like maybe 7 minutes or so, but
yeah, dude. I mean, like, the game is beautiful. Like, how can you not think that this game looks amazing? Like honestly,
dude, the tech involved just to make this is absolutely
honestly
insane.
I was watching you play it like I know I was like I'm falling asleep watching you play this, but I really I was just, you know, fucking with you, because you know how we are. We just like messing with each other. But when I was watching you play, dude, I was sitting there thinking to myself like wow, like this game looks really good. Like, especially it going from being on a PC that the PCs can barely run this game to going to an Xbox and it looks that damn good.
Yeah.
Like this game looks awesome, you know, in terms of graphics and in terms of just, you know, the way that they made this game. Like, you can fly across the entire world and see everything that you've ever wanted to see in your entire life. Like, you could go see this stuff. That's awesome. Like, I don't remember any other flight simulator game doing this. So that right there is impressive. Anybody who's sitting there on their keyboard and typing away and saying, "Oh, this game is fucking stupid. I don't know why it's a simulator. It's not a game." Whatever you're gonna say, like, you cannot deny that this game looks impressive. You can't say that, because it is. Like I don't. Right? Am I right or am I wrong?
No,
wrong.
Dude. Yo, it was funny. One of the first things I did was fly over Connecticut. I literally saw an apartment building I used to live in. Like, flew right over it. And literally saw. I was like, "Yo, that fork in the road right there. That second building in. That I used to live there." Those types of experiences, man, you don't get those. Like, that is a very unique experience to get. Like, whether
this gameplay right now with your gameplay, it looks like I don't know if anybody's ever actually flown in a plane, but this looks like when you're going over these houses and stuff and these buildings and stuff, that looks real, dude. I'm sorry, but that looks
how many of them there are,
fucking
man.
Real. Yeah, and there's a lot there. Like, you know, of course, when you get up close, it's gonna probably look not as good. But why are you getting up close anyways? Like, you're supposed to be flying around? Like, like, why are you even trying to prove something that, of course, it makes sense? Like, why, you know?
At the end of my stream, I crashed, by the way. Like, I just want to throw it out there.
When you just flew by this pyramid right here, like, damn, dude, like, how can you not say that's not impressive? Like, I don't get it, but
it's insane.
Whatever, you know, it is, man. It's completely insane.
All right. let's go over to Crispy. Let's go over to Crispy.
Or whatever.
Crispy, did you get a chance to play Flight Simulator, man?
Did I get a chance to play it? No.
No?
I've been caught up in life stuff. So
yeah, that is true, man. My apologies.
Fact is that it's a game, people. Like, get it out of your head. It's a fucking game. I'm not talking about you, bot.
But dude, yeah, I said it's a game too. I said it's a game too.
But I'm just, I'm kind of trying to give perspective. And when people bring up Gran Turismo, they mean, the old school Gran Turismo, which, I mean, dude, you could change the tire pressure on each individual tire. You could change the camber. You could do so many things back in, what was it, like 95, 94? I don't even know. It was like PS1, and then they ported it to PS2. It was crazy. Like, I never experienced that, and I got really good at, modifying the cars and everything. So it was a lot of fun. And I feel like a lot of people are having fun with this game.
Yo, shout out to Troyski. He wants me to land on the Sydney Harbor Bridge sometime. And so I got to go down to Australia and fly around. I'm pretty sure that bridge is in Sydney, probably crossing a harbor. But yeah, dude, I'm down to try that. Probably
I want to fly. I was just thinking about this. I want to fly through the bayous of Louisiana.
Ooh.
Just to see what that's like. I was just thinking about that. I was like, you know what? I want to. Now I actually do want to play this game,
dude. I thought about
that. I was like, oh shit.
Rainforests, like you go Brazil, Amazon rainforest. There's a bunch of them. I thought about them. Isolated, kind of like Caribbean islands that aren't necessarily populated, like using an aquatic plane and kind of landing in the water next to one, seeing like what that is all about and stuff like that. And then of course the places that you're not supposed to go, fly over North Korea and see what they might have there. Of course, I swear,
yeah, man, you might want to be careful, man.
So many people did Area 51 as well. I don't know if people know this, but Antarctica is a no-fly zone as well, by the way. So, and I think that would be absolutely beautiful to fly over Antarctica. So there are places I want to go. My whole thing is once I fly over these places and I check them out, I never land. I always go back to the menu and then do something else. I gotta start landing and then kind of completing my trips and stuff like that. But shout out to Sir X-Man who said, I missed his super chat. Yo, brother, I am checking up on that right now. Let me... While I'm doing that, yo, Predator, did you get a chance to check out the game called Flight Simulator, bro?
I checked out the flying simulator. I did. It is a game, first of all. Here's the crazy part. I know some pilots in the military, and they play Flight Simulator religiously back in the day. It helped them practice, because they have. It's probably at the time more realistic than some of the stuff that they were using in the military at the time. But the ones that I know that actually played this now on PC, they have the full setup. They got the flight sticks, they got the everything. They're the paddles, they got the top of the line shit on PC. So when I hear
they made a cockpit over
their
PC.
Literally, they have everything set up in their house where it's they're really flying a plane. They're really good at it, so because they do this, they did it, and some of them are retired, or they've gotten out and they're working for airline companies and stuff like that. And I'm like, why do you want to come home from flying a plane to fly a plane? So it's kind of stupid to me, but
you don't understand.
I do understand, because I'll go to work and I'll be in training in the military, and I'll come home and I'll play, Ghost Recon.
You'll come home and you'll mod up a weapon.
That too.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get where they're coming from. So they just love flying, and they, especially with it now, the the version we get now in 2021, it's a hell of a lot better than what we played before. So, so when I see like this fake outrage about it being a game or not being a game, I just kind of dismiss that because it is a game. Like, stop that. That's just some stupid Sony fanboy comments. Because if this game was on PlayStation and it had a 92 Metacritic, they'd be touting it right now. So, they can miss me with all that bullshit. The other part of it too was when they're talking about the quote unquote microtransactions and stuff like that in the game. Again, the people who play Flight Simulator, when this was on PC, when it first came out on PC, you didn't hear anybody complaining about the purchases or the packages that you could buy
and how expensive they were.
And how expensive they are. Obviously, it's cheaper if you just buy it like the big package up front, But the people who are going to play this like religiously, they're getting that package. They're getting the big boy package. They're not getting the little small, the basic package. They're getting the big shit because they know they're going to play this game. They're the ones that have the flight sticks and the paddles and stuff like that. So they're into this kind of shit. That's what they love. So most of us, and I'm gonna be honest with you, most of us are not going to put more than 5 hours in this game. Let's be real. There's a few of us out there that may get really hooked on it. Like I played it, I enjoyed it, I liked it. Is it something I was playing it while y'all were talking earlier? Is it? I mean, that's how you rank up flight hours. You put that shit in the air and let it just fucking coast for a couple hours while we're doing a podcast. There you go. But a lot of people that are, not giving this game its praise are the ones who, A, don't play it, are not going to play it, have no intention of playing it, and are not on Xbox. I think every Xbox person I know, because it's, again, and I hate using this excuse, if this game was not in Game Pass, most of us would have never bought it. Let's be real.
That is true.
Like, this is not our game. But because it's in Game Pass, we're like, holy shit, let me try it out. And we're actually having fun with it. Like, I'm having fun playing the game. It's actually helping me to fly a little bit better than I usually do at Battlefield. So I'm learning something, and it actually teaches you how to fly. It's going to sound crazy, but like all the stuff, the controls and stuff, how they put the control layout with your controller and how they discuss it when you're doing the tutorials, that's basically flying mechanics 101. So it's a game. It's a simulator, but it's still a game. So stop that shit. Stop crying over, the packages, the DLCs and stuff like that. You guys aren't going to buy it. So what are you complaining for? I do think some of it's overpriced, but it's not Microsoft doing it. It's, the people who are creating these things are charging that price. So, and if they're going to sit there and waste their time to do, like, I miss it. There's no DFW airport in there. I got to fly from like Arizona to get home, to get to Dallas where I'm at right now. So I can't just launch off from Dallas Fort Worth. And I wish, who knows, maybe down the pipe, like obviously these things will get cheaper, but maybe down the pipe they start adding new stuff into it where you can fly from from different airports and states. But
I just thought about it, man. I gotta fly through the Grand Canyon. I gotta do that, like on either a sunrise or a sunset. When you get kind of like the reddish sun, oh man, that's gonna be insane. I don't know. I'm digging it. Again, I'm not gonna be one of those faithful people and put like hundreds and hundreds of hours, man. But it is a cool.
Oh, no.
It's a cool change of pace. Like when you just want to kick back and just see something that looks insane, but still interact with it and still play a game. Like this is right there for that. That's why I think it's a great addition to Game Pass. K Mega, brother, did you get a chance to earn your wings, bro? Mega,
he's not even here, dude.
Did he leave?
I think he got dropped out or something. I don't know.
Well, you can easily jump back in. It's Discord. You know what I'm saying? You guys have keys to the door. No more bell ringing, man. No more bell ringing. You guys gotta like that, right? You're waiting for me to kind of get you into me.
Keep me crispy today.
Oh, it's always got to be somebody, right?
With the answers. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much for that super chat. Definitely appreciate it.
Old wise mind, man.
He did hit up the super chat again. He said, "Is Goat Simulator a game or a simulator? It is definitely a game, and it is a game I absolutely despise. I do not like Goat Simulator. Oh man, I used to rag on the kids when they started playing it. I'm like, why are you playing that? Yeah.
I heard the controls in that game was like god awful, dude.
Sounds like he got kicked in the balls by a goat. That's what happened.
It is Did we get
Booty juice.
K Mega is back, right? Cause
Yeah, he's back. Yeah.
Mega. Calling K Mega. Is that him fumbling around?
That's me.
As usual.
Hey, K Mega, where are you?
Yeah, Albert G said I'm scary when I get mad, and I scared some of the panel members off. Like, no, dude, they're used to me, bro.
Your voice is high pitched already, but it gets even higher pitched, dude, when you get.
you hear that energy just take it up.
I do.
I thought for a second I was talking to somebody that had no clue what their voice was. I was like,
wow. He grabs his balls to fight, argue with us.
Yeah, I actually didn't do that this time. But anyway, no, and Mega is back out. All right, well,
maybe he's having internet problems or something.
Probably.
I got you. And OBS did
he's playing
for a
Halo.
second over here, so yeah, he's probably he
to the
No, guys, unfortunately I did not get an invite to the flight for Halo Infinite multiplayer.
I didn't either, man, so you know.
A little sad about it.
That's okay.
I'm a little sad about it, man.
Fine, I'll play it when it comes out.
I just don't have, like, my chances are never good when it comes to closed betas. Like, I don't get invited to very many at all, and then when
all of them. I don't know what your problem is.
Yeah, dude, you do. You get invited to all of them, man.
I told you, I said, yeah, I'll get it. Don't worry about it. You're like, no, you're not. We were talking about this last week.
Yo, for real. But it is what it is. Hopefully I get in at some point in time. I definitely want to check this out early. But guys, we're overtime. We're overtime right now. I think it's about time to wind it down. We went through a lot, man. We had a bunch of topics. We had a lot of energy, and I think it'd be a good time to wind the show down. So, you know, like a 40-year-old with a comb over, it's time to get those plugs in. And I am going to start with the man who decided he was going to argue with me first. Crispy Bomb. Crispy, it is always good for us to come together on Thursdays. Absolutely love doing this show with you and the rest of the panel members. Brother, it is time for your outro. You know all the information you got to let people know. I'm not going to repeat it. Just go ahead and do what you got to do, bro.
I feel a total contradiction in the world right now, and I don't know what to do.
oh wait, it's just bot. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Chris
I contradicted
Bomb
nothing,
Twitter.
by the way.
Chris Bomb 28 on Xbox Live. Find me tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. on Breakfast with Boom, 7 p.m. Tuesdays on Retro Renegades, and of course, back here, if I'm allowed, on the next podcast, 8 p.m. prime time on Thursdays.
Prime time, baby. And yes, you will be here next weekend as long as you can be.
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Oh,
Yeah,
there he
you're good.
is.
Holy shit! I posted in there. I had this crazy update. The computer was just acting a damn fool, and then all of a sudden I had like six or eight. You know, like
I had
when you go and check
sex.
the updates.
You had sex? Damn,
Yeah,
dude.
it has
Like,
sex.
that's some quick ass shit, dude.
New
I had sex
OnlyFans.
with God.
Anyway, yes. Anyway, no,
Dude, that's what you get for
I
arguing with Xbot, dude. That's what you get, man. That's what you
Welcome to the
fucking get,
Cubs
bro.
Oh
know,
no!
right? So I get like
Welcome.
I got
to
like 6 to 7 different like you know those little things when you got a different little whatever that's uploading all at the same time, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And then next thing you know, it says the screen is changing. It'll look different, whatever, and then it completely updated, and then the whole look of the screen is just different. So this has got to be because I signed up for that Windows 11 beta. And so this has got to be Windows 11. This is because this shit looks completely foreign to me.
Oh, no.
I'm glad they did this today or tonight instead of tomorrow, because you know how I am when stuff gets weird and I don't know what the hell is going on. So yeah.
You're gonna be up all night just making sure you know what you're doing.
Right, because I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So yeah.
Did he just basically say he doesn't give a shit about this podcast right now, dude?
No, I did not say that. I did not say that at all. I came back in here. If I didn't care, I would have came back.
Dark got a taste of us disagreeing. I think he wanted more, so he's just trying to start shit right now. Yeah.
No.
I'm a glutton for chaos, man. I don't know what to tell you.
No. Go just watch a PlayStation podcast if that's what you want.
Oh. Yeah, go ahead. They need the views over there, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I don't know. You guys want to hear what K Mega thinks about Flight Sim before we go, real quick? Now that everything's working.
I'll be very quick. It's beautiful. I've already put about 6-7 hours into it, and haven't even did one major flight to from one place to the other. I downloaded all the extra maps that they have available. Mount St. Helens is absolutely stunning, beautiful. The lighting in that game is just stupendous. It's serene. It's one of these games that you can just jump in and you can play. It's also a showpiece for sure. But it's just calm and a soothing game. Like if somebody piss you off and you just you're like, man, I want to just get this mother and just just put on some Flight Simulator. Let that music play for a little bit. Have your little water, or a little ginger ale, or some scotch, whatever.
Ooh, ginger ale, I like ginger ale.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and just let the music just take you, and just be in the plane and just let it ride and just coast. And it's something about that is just soothing. It's kind of takes you out of the I don't know. It's just different. And to me, just to seeing how much of a powerhouse this game is, and it's on consoles, because that's never ever happened ever in history of Flight Simulator. What's this mean is that these consoles this generation, and I'm even saying this for the PlayStation, that they're powerhouses. And right now, this is just it's amazing, and what you can do with the games with the cloud.
And we're just beginning, dude.
We're just beginning. It's not even the first year. A complete year for these consoles being out, and for what Xbox is doing and achieving already is just it's a monumental leap compared to how their first year was, with the great lineup that the Xbox One had. This in comparison, it pales in comparison to what this first year already is looking like. And then just think about, you got the Flight Simulator, you got the Ascent. There's the Halo Insiders.
I gotta download that. I'm gonna download that. Maybe I should start it now. Yeah.
Oh man, that game is so damn fun. And then it's like, okay, think about it as it's a bundle of games, but think about like it's Diablo with pews with guns. And then if you can't think of it like that, then think of it like a crazy, insane version of Smash TV. If anybody played that in the arcade,
I saw that. That's what I was going to compare it to.
Yeah, it's graphically it's insane. All the colors, the vibe. Anyway, the game looks good, but Flight Simulator, I've seen the contrast of one game that is completely that puts you in awe, but just for how big a scale that this game is and how detailed it is. From just people can fly over the house. I flew over my house, but it was like at 4:00 in the morning, so it was dark. But just flying from an airport and then going over and then dropping off over there on the other side of Norman, it's just ridiculous to me. So I was just like, this is wild. So, and I don't know. And then you go to what you're seeing with, you got Death's Door, which everybody's been talking about. Shout out to Jay Bash for hooking me up with that game. And
you got the hookup, nice, brother.
Yeah. I haven't got a chance to really play it yet. I just started it up and seen it was a bird, and I said, "What the hell, a bird with a sword? What the hell is this?" And then but I've seen everybody talk about it, and then I was playing the Ascent for a couple of hours before we started the show, and I'm in love with that game. And then you got just the graphics with that, and it just plays so good and it's fun. And then Xbox is, and then it got Hades. You got all these other FIFA. Oh, man, it's almost too much. It's almost overwhelming. It's crazy.
And it's in its infancy, people.
Right. It's just getting started. But Flight Simulator is, I would tell anybody to give it a try. And, just because that's why I have the comparisons of Gran Turismo, because of the fact of when you're trying to learn how to fly the planes, you go through the tutorial. It's serious. It's not. It's like almost like I felt like I was like when I first got my CDLA. I took that shit serious. Like man, like when she was telling me to go do that, I'm like, yeah, because you look at the switches and then when the plane go do, I'm like, oh shit, we gonna die. I can't die. It's crazy. So like if you start flying one of them big airliners, those big airliner jets, that's even more crazy because
747, bro.
Bro, it's nuts. So and then I was online with somebody the other day, and they were flying from France to Seattle.
Oh,
so
man.
Obviously, so yeah, and that took about 5 hours, and I was just like, bro. But it was so smooth the way that they were doing it, and they were just going through it and everything. They put it on cruise control and just let it happen. But they just was looking at the scenery and everything, and then I don't know, man. That's just really crazy. It's bonkers to think that you can just fly over your house, or I could probably go and make a little sweep from Oklahoma to Connecticut.
There we go.
Come back. Yeah, I might do that.
Dude, I don't know. Like you might be shocked at how many trees are in Connecticut. I live here, and I was shocked at like how many trees are in Connecticut.
You might be shocked of how many. Like once you get into especially when you hit Tulsa, and then when you hit Oklahoma City, of how much like lights and city it is. I was like, damn. When I flew, I was like, damn, it is a lot. Okay, we got some space. All right,
we got some space.
A dust bowl. We got some places out here. Sucker. We got a lot of roads. It was cool though. It was really dope. Oh man.
Awesome, brother. Yeah, dude. It is a unique experience. Is the best way to say it. Like, and the cool thing about it is if you're on Xbox, you're on PC or whatnot. Game Pass. You know? That is the deal. That is the word of the generation. But yeah, with that being said, K Mega, we are winding it down, man. Why don't you hit us with the outro? You put in your description here, man. I know you got a show tomorrow. I might be there,
Okay. Yeah. Might.
Let people know, bro.
Today, maybe.
What'd you say?
He said like after today, I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, no.
I'm gonna come in. It's a game. I said it's a game. Oh, by the way, what up, people?
Yeah. It's check out the GRG podcast tomorrow night. It's going to be fun. We're doing part 2 of the bringing the old school with the new. So Xbot's going to be there. I'm pretty sure Don might sneak in there. Livewire and Triple Cup Chuck will be there with us.
Triple Cup.
Yes. Yeah, big. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, our boy Still Rain, he has to lead a show because of situations with real life. Got to work. He got a new job, and so it's going to conflict with the show. And so I wish Still Rain.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll miss him.
Does he have Thursdays open? Maybe.
He might. I don't know. You might check that out, but definitely go. Go check him out.
Might have to start replacing people who disagree with me.
Hey man, that's fine. You know what I'm saying, Fred. I know you ready to hop on to a podcast.
You can't take Fred.
What you say?
You just backed it up about 2 hours.
Oh shit, yeah. But it's all good. But we'll miss him. And definitely, what I'm saying, really talented brother, man. Wish him the best. And it's just the way things are. But we'll keep it rolling. And we did some Devin the Gamer. So there'll be two episodes of Devin the Gamer that'll be coming at you. We talked about Halo last night of what we thought about it. Me and Don did that. And yeah, then we did the Devin the Gamer earlier that day. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. And then there was a Devin the Gamer that I was like, oh shit, we did that like at 2:00 in the morning. And I was like, I'm not posting this, but I'm gonna go ahead and post that anyways. But that was about like almost a month ago. So we'll still post it. But yeah, and then Fight Night Sunday, we'll be doing that. Yeah, man, there's a couple people that said they want to come in there, play some Killer Instinct, play some Mortal Kombat 11. Big shout out to them if they come through, and we'll get to do it. If not, then I will be there at 9
I'm always
p.m.
down on Mortal Kombat, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So we'll definitely do that. Shout out to Megatron 1975 or Megatron 1. You know what I'm saying? He came in there and kicked our ass in Street Fighter Hyper, the old school Street Fighter. I couldn't beat him. I think I beat him once. That was it. But he smashed everybody. You know what I'm saying? Lemon was the only one that gave him a challenge. But yeah, so check us out on Fight Night. And then, of course, every Thursday you catch me here. So yeah, so thank you guys so much.
Nice. And Predator, man, what do you got for us? What's going on in the world of Predator right now?
Shit, I thought I did mine already. Nothing. OnlyFans.
Nothing.
Holla at your boy. See y'all next week, man. I'll be playing some Halo, hopefully, the next couple hours. Not tonight. I'll probably jump on tomorrow. It looks like.
Oh, see, you don't even go in date like as soon as it's available, man. They pick the wrong person.
I'm not gonna sit up all night waiting to get in.
See, and that's why you are.
Did you get a code or did you download it? What happened?
Well, I got the email just now and it says, head to the Halo Waypoint, but then you go to the website and it's not loading. Yeah.
It's saying it got hit. All right. So yeah.
So like even I'm not gonna stay up all night to try and get in here and get one.
I will.
I'll hop on in the morning, let y'all play your 3 games for free. I'll go to bed and I'll hop in tomorrow when I'm working from home and not working.
It's all fucking night. I'm gonna be going.
And I'll be on it all fucking day tomorrow. So yeah. I'll record some footage for you, the Xbox, so you can look at it.
Dude, I will put it. I will put it on the show, man. Definitely.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get after I get done with that. I'll
shut your mouth, Crispy.
And then get ready. Hopefully, we get some news next week, man. It's been a slow week of like Xbox news. Even though they've had like what 3 games come out, maybe 4 in the past week.
Mm-hmm.
That Door game.
Flight
Simulator Ascent, Death Door, yeah, and then you got the Insider Flight. So I think, it's gonna be. This week is pretty busy, so hopefully they continue the push next week with some news about something because I keep hearing rumors about shit. But hopefully we'll talk about it next week if it happens on the show. See you next week.
All right, brother. And people out there, you have any connections to 343 to Xbox over there in social media or whatnot, send them a message, send them a tweet, let them know they need to have Xbox 448 in the flight, each and every flight when it comes to Halo Infinite. You guys know it's true, so just help a brother out, man. That's all. Dark Optimus, who has been insanely quiet, he was just ingesting. He probably went back and watch the energy unfold while we were doing the outros. But it's your turn, Dark. What do you got for us, bro?
Alrighty. Yep. You guys can find me on Twitter at Dark Optimus. You can also box him same name. And I'm out, dude. I gotta go. All right. Good night,
brother. And guys, on that note, again, huge shout out to the chat. Thank you so much for your continued support. Definitely appreciate it. I hope you had fun. I hope you were entertained tonight. It was a blast doing this show for you guys. You will find us here every Thursday, and that's 8 p.m. Eastern, otherwise known as Prime Time, baby. But until next week, guys, have a great night. We will see you next week for the next podcast. Have a great night, people.
Welcome to Predators Only.
Yeah, I don't have that up right now.
Yes!
But it'll be back next week.
Yes. All right, later, everybody.
Come in. Okay.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.